Hello and welcome everyone. It's Angela here today. I invite you to come and join me and sit down just for about 20 minutes while I share one of my favorite kits that I've ever created, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Now I want to talk just a couple of minutes, maybe one or two, just on the heart behind this kit and where it came from. So that's what I thought was important. Now I don't know if you follow me or not. I know a lot of you have been with me for a very long time and you know that I'm a fan of nature and walk in the forest close to where I live pretty much 3-4 times a week if the weather's right, not when it's so hot though. So every walk through nature really, I think I'm drawn to it because it reminds me to slow down and not to be so rushed, and I really find it quite a healing experience. Now the thing that I love about this collection is that it was inspired by my personal experience of my quiet walks through that woodland, and for me it just seems that's where the world slows down. Now I have called this the Melodies of Nature, and it's everything that I notice and enjoy when I walk through there. It does have a touch of a French vintage theme, and that really is simply the wrapper around those moments, and because to me they capture elegance, nostalgia, and the feeling of stepping into another time, and that's what I love. But the heart of this collection is much closer to home for me. You know I love the birds, you know I love woodland paths, the changing seasons, which I watch from the oak tree that's right in front of my window, and the quiet lessons that they offer us if we're willing to notice them. So I hope that as you create with these pages or look at them today, that you will feel more than just making a journal. I hope that they will help you to slow down, breathe deeply, notice those little things, and perhaps carry a little bit of nature's wisdom into your life as well. All right, so enough with my little preamble, let's get to it. Okay, so Melodies of Nature, that's where we are now, and I have divided this into sections as I normally do. You've got your journal pages, your add-on pages, ephemera, I've got background pages, and I've got my altered pages. Now normally they're altered book pages, these are altered music pages because it's about melodies. Alright, so yeah, this is quite a big kit. So we are looking at something like 83 pages, digital pages, 83. All right, if you are interested in a printed kit, I do that, and you can see all the details for that. I'll talk that through as we go, but that's 118 sheets of paper. All right, so we are going to make a beautiful journal. I do have a bundle that goes with this, an ultimate bundle, so I'll share that with you at the end. Okay, so first of all we've got the journal pages, and all the little characters are here, and I have created characters. So we've got a squirrel, we've got birds, lots of birds. I love birds, they're right in the tree at the end of my garden. All those beautiful wildflowers, we've got vintage, we've got a lot of French in here, and I do love French. So yeah, we've even got foxes, badgers, otters, all sorts of things, butterflies, bees, the lot. All right, so this really is me in a nutshell, if I could say so. All right, so the journal pages, there are 14 pages. I'm going to turn through page through those for you now. So here's our first one. The colors, as you can see, are soft, natural. We've got duck egg blue, we've got all sorts of blues, we've got the greens, touches of soft yellows and sage greens, and neutrals, of course. Okay, so here's the first one, and I'll go pretty quickly here. Here's the second one. I love this page. It's just got a collage of everything and beautiful scenery. Here is the sunlight coming through here on the streams. It's just beautiful. I love that. Then we've got a lovely bridge here, lots of old countryside scenes, the little birds in the nest. Oh my gosh. And a little egg, speckled eggs, of course. Here the birds in a bird bath, and the little babies are watching. There are a lot of birds in here. There's a bee. It's not just birds though. Some more splashing in the water. I've watched them do that a lot in the hot days, and that looks just like a path I walk down often with the dogs, of course. All right, so we've got, I brought in a lot of French quotes and sort of sentiments that relate to nature as well. Here's a wheelbarrow, old wheelbarrow. We've got lots of vintage, what is it called now, notebook type things in here as well. Elements is the word. Here's some foxes, a fox with her litter, and some bunnies or hares. And then we've got beautiful hedgehogs and her family, and little field mice as well, bees, butterflies, all those beautiful things. All right, so that's your 14 journal pages. We've also got our writing pages which make up that, and I like to do those so that people can have writing pages, and you can print as many of these as you want to go into your journal. So we've got this beautiful one here. I've done 4 different ones, and then we've got this lovely one as well. Then we have this beautiful one, of course. Then the very last one is this one. Okay, so that does make up your 14 journal pages. All right, you got 4 writing pages and 10 actual design pages. Aren't they adorable? It's one of my favorite parts. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there. Then I have put together 7 of these same designs, but in half the size, the mini pages, because we use them a lot. So there are 7 of those. I do apologize if you can hear the fan behind me. It is very hot, and the neighbor is having their conservatory redone, so there's a lot of banging. So I'll just have to put the fan on as I'll expire. All right, so there we go. Now we've come to the add-on pages. The add-on pages, in here I've got 13 pages. Beautiful tags. I love that image. Another 2, because I love all the different sizes of tags, and I've made, I think, 5 pages of different size tags. We've got our large ones, then our medium size ones. And then I have done some with a couple of ribbons on as well. Those are adorable. And then I've done some really smaller ones. All right, so we've got lots of sizes there. Then we have our envelopes. So I've made this one. Look at that beautiful background. And then another one over there. And then I've just made them half the size as well. Okay. Love envelopes. Now this has got a lot of pockets. We've got pockets here. We've got library pockets, a lot of circles in different sizes. I've used up all the space I could. And then I've also made faux washi tape. So that's going to be handy. And then I've added more pockets there and some more circles, because you can't get it. I love using the circles. A sheet of tabs, so they're the tabs. All right, so that's your 14 add-on pages, and they match perfectly with the kit there. Right, we've got ephemera pages now, and there's quite a few of those, 19 sheets, and I love what I've created here. Lots of things that are similar, but also some new things as well. We've got postcards, and this has got a lot of lace, tattered bits of French fabric, flowers, and I love these. So we've got those, and then I've added in some with the various animals that you find in the woodland as well. Okay, we've made some tiny little postcard or little cards, and then I've also made some clusters for you, and you probably can't see this, but this all looks like embroidery on these clusters. All right, so that's vintage embroidery. That's what it looks like. All right, Love those. Some more bits to go into our journal for ephemera with all the characters that we will be seeing. I've added some little French invoices that we can use just to break up the color, because I like that kind of thing. And then some more little images here of our woodland friends. So there we go. I've created these clusters, which are great. Again, they look like embroidery with lace and all the little elements here. And I have just filled in all the spaces with little decorative bits as well. All right, so these are really nice just to cut, place on a page where you want just a little bit of decoration. You can use them as tuck spots on something else, etc. We'll have fun with those. I've also created some fussy cuts, so we've got lots of those as well. Single elements with leaves, and then we've got composition flowers to match. And then I did put together these pages of leaves because I like to add leaves behind things, and I like that. So that's that. The oak tree, the maple, and all the trees in the forest. Here's some little elements. Oh, look at the otter. I do love otters. Of the animals in the woodland, like fussy cuts. So we have that. And then I have also created these fussy cuts as well. So these are just other ones. Okay. Here's some really old field, that's the word I was looking for, field notebook type of bits and pieces. So really vintagey looking flowers there. We've got some lovely vintage tickets and some tear spots that I like to just layer with. So that's what those are. I have tried to put borders around everything that needs a border. All right. Here's some smaller little elements because they look like field note pieces, and you know, I just like using smaller pieces. Often I'm making something and I need something that's a lot smaller, so I have done that. And then of course quotes, so a lot of nature-based quotes here. Let your soul bloom where kindness is planted. Absolutely. All right, so that we've got those. I did 2 pages of these, and then I did them half the size. Again, we want them smaller. These are different orientation though. All right, so sometimes we want them a different way. Then lots of quotes, lots of single words, bigger quotes, all sorts of things. I thought that would be amazing. So we've got that. And that's the end of the ephemera and the add-on kit. So that is 19 pages. Now guys, you know that I do offer an all-in-one kit, which will encompass for a digital and a printed kit everything I'm showing you today as far as the designs are concerned. All right, so your journal pages, your add-on kit, your ephemera kit, your altered music pages, your background pages, all of that. And the same with the printer kit. However, for the printer kit, I have separated out, like I did last time, for those of you who just want some of it and not all of it. So if you're wanting just the journal pages kit, that will have the pages with the backgrounds printed on. You'll get an extra set of those. Sorry, here it is. Over there, these are single-sided printed, no background on those, the same as this. All right, then I've got the ephemera kit in that pack and the add-on kit and the mini pages. All right, so that will make up 67 sheets of paper. Okay, so that's just the journal kit pages. If you're wanting all of it, you will then also get the background pages. All right, now as a printed kit, I do one set that has both sides printed and the other set that's single-sided printed. Okay, there are 21 background pages and I'm going to show them to you now. And I've also got the altered music pages, and those are 9 sheets of paper. All right, so the all-in-one kit will be everything. The journal kit on its own is just what I showed you there, excluding these 2. All right, these you can buy separates as well if you so choose, but obviously the saving is in buying them all together. Right, on the background pages, as I said, I've got 21 background designs. This beautiful one here, I loved making this. This was painstaking, but I enjoyed it. It's my favorite page. All right, so all these little elements in there, absolutely adorable. Then this collage page, which is also fun. I've got one with various little quotes, and we can use this in the journal or cut them out, so there's lots to do there. Also another collage page, just those two. A butterfly page, which is so pretty. Birds, different birds. Then this page is beautiful with all the little different, look at that little face, all the different characters in the forest. And then we go on to some patterns. So we've got this beautiful vintage pattern. It's got butterflies and all sorts of shadowed elements behind it. And you probably can't see, but I love it. French words, so there's that. And then I've got this beautiful one. We've got some lovely brambles. And then these beautiful French patterns this way, these blue and greens. I've got some ditzy little flowers here, so this is like on a neutral yellow and blue flowers, and then you've got a blue one. I think there's a yellow one. Yeah. All right, so when we're wanting that. Then we've got these beautiful French designs. This is really vintagey. Okay, with the yellows. And then this one I've printed portrait, because we will use this for the cover to line the cover. All right, then I just put in some old French stripes. So we've got these, we've got those, and those. Okay, so that's everything on the background pages. Okay, 21 of those. A printed kit has a set of each, so 42 pages. Okay, and then lastly, these gorgeous little altered music pages, which I think are just adorable. So you've got this background of the forest with the various elements coming to the foreground, and I've used beautiful French vintage music sheets for this. All right, so we've got the birds, and I do print this a different version on the back. Okay, we have got little fox and the squirrel, the hare and toads, because there are toads there, lots of them, little otters in the rivers, and the little badgers and the owls, of course, with the field mice. And these are all in the forest. I've seen them. And then this is just a old oak tree and a little sapling over there. All right, so there's just 6 pages, 6 designs, and that's what it's about. All right, so those are there, and then I've just done them in a mini format as well, and on the back I've put the green stripe. All right, so exactly the same designs there. All right, so that's all the pages that I have been working on. Now I have actually started. I'm going to show you the bundle now. This is the fabric that I made. All right, so I've had this printed. It's all ready to go. I've packed it already with all those beautiful elements. Look at the squirrel. That's the front. I have just about finished putting together a little freebie, which I will give you when we do the very first video on starting this journal, which won't be for a week or 2 anyway, but I have got a beautiful freebie that is going to go for the topper for this journal. All right, so I'm using a hardcover journal. If you're wanting to know how to do that, I will put my process in the playlist for Melodies of Nature, and you can follow along. But there is a fabric piece, and this is it. And as I say, it's going to look absolutely stunning. So I've made a 3.5 inch spine. This is 9 inches by 6.5. All right, so what are we looking at there? Is it 23 centimeters? Yeah, 23 by 16.5 by 9. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, and as you can see, it's going to look amazing with all of these pages. And as I say, I'm already in love with it. Of course you are, Angela. All right, so that's the fabric bundle. You get the fabric piece, which is, I think it's 19 inches actually by 11 inches. All right, so all the details in metric and imperial are on my website. If you're wanting to look at any of it, the details are all in there. Guys, can I please ask that you have a look at the detail in the description box? It starts off by saying, what do you get? Please have a look. There's a load of information for every one of these kits. I get a lot of people asking me questions via email on things they can answer themselves, because that information is very thorough in there. So please have a look. If you not sure, you can always drop me an email, but that is where all the details are. Okay, this kit, the printed kits and the ultimate bundle, not the digitals, they're instant, will be posting out next Friday. All right, Thursday they've got a shutdown on the Royal Mail with their systems, and they've already let us know, so it has to, I can't do it by Wednesday, so it'll have to be Friday. All right, so I'll get that out from then onwards. Okay, so there's your fabric piece. I'm going to put that over there. Of course, I've got these lovely bags. This one has the birds, because we've got a lot of birds. All right, beautiful flat bags. We will use those in our journal, so that's there. Then I have lovely lace. All right, so these are the 10 pieces of lace that I've accrued. Now this one here is only 1/2 meter. I could only get enough for 1/2 meter, but every other piece is 1 meter in length, so you've got 9.5 meters, and these match perfectly with our pages. So if I just bring one of these pages down here, you can see how beautifully that works. Right, so that's the lace, and then of course we've got 18 ribbons. Here's 2 meters our closure that will go on here. It's faux silk, beautiful ribbon. Okay, and then we've got all these beautiful blues, from nice bluebell blue to nice duck egg blue. I've got this gorgeous one that looks like vintage fabric. It is fabric. I've also got music notes, because it is Melodies, and all these beautiful colors here, right down to the different greens. Right, so that's your ribbons, your lace, your fabric, and then what I have done is I've pulled together a little freebie here. Now there's just one thing that's not in this bag, and that is the elastic cord. I'm going to do an elastic cord method to attach the signatures to the cover, like I like to do, and it's easier for a lot of people. So you will get 2 meters of a blue shade of corded elastic, all right, which is what you need. Then I've also gathered some oak leaf trim, which is perfect. It's a lovely color green, and that will be great for using in the journal. I did wind this all up pretty well, but that's okay, I can do it later. So we've got the oak trim, we've got 1 meter of these tiny daisy flowers, which I love, small daisy flowers with the soft yellow centers, and I love these are tiny, great to add in for decoration. And then also I've got this really old vintage gold flower trim, also 1 meter of that. So we will add these to our decorative elements. All right, now I haven't put a flower bundle together. I'm going to put this in here, so your elastic will also go into this bag. All right, so that's a freebie just with the ultimate bundle. And I will gather some flowers. These are the flowers that I have in my shop. Right, they're just the different blues, the lovely soft lemons, the small turquoise, the small yellow with those daisies and gold flowers. It's going to add to the vintage touch. So these are just what's available in the shop because I didn't have loads, but many of you do have flowers, so just see what it is that you don't have. All right, so you can pick up those there if you're wanting to do that with your order. Okay, and that's everything, guys. Yeah, are you excited? I'm sure excited. All right, so as I say, I will be packing these ready to be posted on Friday. So if you're interested, you'll find everything in the new this month tab in my website shop. The links are in the description box below this video. So just click on more and more again, and a wealth of information drops down. And if you've got any questions, of course, let me know. Now, guys, I do not have loads of ultimate bundles available because I've been spending a lot of time making them, and then I sit with some for a very long time. So I have 2/3 of what I normally put together, and unfortunately when they are finished, they are finished. All right, so that's all I'm going to do there. Rather than being stuck hours and days and putting these together, because it does take me a long time. All right, thank you so much for watching. I invite you to come and join me and follow along with this journal, even if it's just for half an hour's piece every time. You know, be good to yourself and enjoy that piece, even if you're just watching and not making. It's good just to take yourself out of life. It's so busy, and you know, we all deserve some slow time, don't we? Thank you for listening to me. I will see you all very soon. Have a wonderful weekend, and if you're having hot weather in the northern hemisphere, please stay hydrated and cool. I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.